Teketeke Nation Live brings to you.
Good morning, This is Teketeke Nation Live, and the program on air is Silenced Truth. So why we do this program is because there are many barriers within our societies that prevent our young girls and women, of course, from attaining their dreams. So all girls, of course, have some dreams. Wangependa kusoma, will become whatever they want to become when they grow up. Our young women would also want to do business, to get into career and become something in their lives. But then there are many barriers within our lives, there are many barriers within our societies, ambazo it is very difficult for them to get there. And today we would want to talk about just women wanting to be free. The freedom that any girl, your daughter, your sister, your wife, your own mother would like to have, so that she's able to just operate freely, make her own choices, and become whoever she wants to become in her own life. Kindly join me for the next 1 hour. We talk about the freedom that our women want. And please, as we start, go to YouTube channel. It is Teketeke Nation Live, and subscribe. Go to YouTube channel, Teketeke Nation Live, and subscribe. Allow me to invite our guest for today. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Uko salama?
Yes, niko poa.
Mimi niko fiti. Karibu sana. To our viewers, waambie unaitwa nani na yes.
My name is Malika Marion. I live in Nairobi and I'm a love of life. Yes.
Unapenda maisha kama kitu kingine?
Sana. And I love to travel. Yeah.
Traveling to anywhere ama?
I love to travel, to explore to new places, places I've never been to enjoy nature, yeah, and just to appreciate everything that the universe created for us. Yeah.
So what pushed you into this traveling?
What pushed me into travel? Number one, I've always loved traveling. I remember when I was in primary school, I was a member of the choir, drama
So
club.
you were then necessarily part of trips?
Yeah, I enjoyed trips more, but I also loved the drama aspect, meeting people, going to new places. So I really looked forward to the days when I would just go out of school to travel to new places, to new schools. Yeah.
Just being you.
Yeah, just being me. And I think travel is an essential part of me. I feel like whenever I travel, I feel rejuvenated. I feel like I am one with nature. Yeah, and I feel like I'm more in love with life whenever I travel. Yeah. So I intentionally started traveling in 2019. Yeah, that was at a time when I was kind of bored with life. I was working. At that time, I was working in a certain bank in this country. And I was bored with the night shifts and the daily shifts. So I wanted like a shift in my life.
So bank mnaingia mnafungiwa ni nini?
No, hatukuwa tunafungiwa, but I had been in banking for quite some time. I think I joined banking in 2015. So ikifika 2019, nikaanza kuboeka. So now I was working at a call center in the same bank. And I was like bored with this, doing the same things every day.
Routine.
And I felt like my life was also boring at that time. Juu nilikuwa natoka job, narudi home. Home, job. The only different thing was maybe on Friday would come to Tao, Evo too. But I was just bored with that kind of life. And I really would admire people who would travel. So I intentionally started traveling.
So when that chance came, ukasema utaenda kwenda.
Yeah, I chanced on that. What happened is when I said the intention that I want to travel, I went online. I went online and I saw. I think there was a group called Yali that had a meet and greet or a traveling something on Ngong Hills. So that was my first intentional travel. Nikaenda was it Ngong Hills really? Yeah, ilikuwa Ngong Hill. Nikaenda Ngong Hill hivyo. Tukaenda tuka hike and I really loved being in the hills. I really felt one with nature. I met new people. That was my first. Since then, sijawahi stop. I've traveled to amazing places in Kenya. Yeah.
Asante bana. Sisi safari zetu ni humuhumu tu.
But still traveling though. The traveling doesn't have to be boarding a plane. Traveling for me, travel is like going to a new place. Exploring different places that you have not known they existed.
Meet new people.
Meet new people, learn new languages, see what makes people be who they are. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I have read online in different places, and I've also had discussions with different young women. And this issue that women want some space just to be free, to make choices as you are able to do, just to make a choice that I want to become a traveler.
Yeah.
Do you think women are really free?
Women are not really free. I can't speak for all women, but in this century, I still feel like there's a majority of women are not free to make choices they want to make for themselves. They're not free to make choices. They do not have the financial muscle to make those choices. Religion also comes in between. Family and culture comes in between. So they're not really free to do as they want. For me, freedom isn't just about being able to travel. For me, freedom means that I'm able to live my life the way I want. So if I want to live my life the way I want to live in place I should be able to live there. I should be able to work in a certain place. I should be able to get opportunities because I am able to work, and not because of my gender. And you'll find that right now in this century, there are women that cannot work in certain places because they're women.
Sure.
So freedom for me means that women are able to access opportunities. They're able to access finances. They're able to be themselves, to explore themselves, and just be who they are. Without being pointed at fingers by the society. You cannot do this, you're a woman.
So do you think the society plays a key role in preventing women from just making choices, chasing their dreams, and becoming who they are?
Yes, the society does play a key role in making women not attain their dreams. For instance, in this century, we still have FGM.
Sure.
Kids are being mutilated. That is against their will. So that actually prevents them from being who they are. In this society, women still experience period poverty. Women can no longer access. There's some women who still cannot access sanitary towels.
Sure.
You see, such things. We still have women right now who are unable to just be themselves. You cannot drive because you're a woman. You cannot work in certain places because you're a woman. There's some fields that are still not for women. But the funny thing is, these fields that are cliche for women, men are actually succeeding and making money through the same fields.
So men have also come in and now competing with you.
So it is like for a woman should be there to serve, to give things for free, service. For instance, if I want to do a talk, or I want to, for instance, I am known for writing, but when I tell someone, when someone wants to come for me for advice, they expect that I give them advice for free. When as a woman I want to monetize my values, I'm being judged. But when a man does the same, they are given the paycheck.
Society.
It's society. It's society.
I would like to understand being a woman, and my life is full of women, because I can assure you, my life is full of women, because my mother is a woman, my wife is a woman, and my daughter is a woman. So women all over, left, right, and center. I would just like to understand, what are some of the challenges that women are going through that you think are as a result of the society not being equal?
Challenges number one, gender roles in the home. For instance, when I was growing up when I was young, you'd find that most of the household responsibilities on me. My brother and I are almost the same age. He's like a year older than me.
So your bro is playing.
My bro would go out play, but I would be in the home, taking care of the home. But we are both kids, you see. So a lot of responsibilities, they go to me as a girl. So I started growing up earlier, and then some obligations. You're not supposed to talk to boys. But my brother wasn't all the same. My brother was free to be himself. I would be bought to I would play with dolls. My brother would go and use bikes. You see, kitambo kuna gender role support kitambo shapewa. So you already know, and because you're a woman, you're supposed to sit like this, legs together. No one tells your brother that you're not supposed to speak like that. A woman, you laugh too loud. It's a problem. So you're not actually free to express. You can't even laugh freely. You can't. When I laugh too loudly, that is, a woman shouldn't laugh loudly. There's a way you're supposed to talk. Even at home when you're sweeping, it's like you're being groomed to be someone's wife as a kid.
So from a very tender age, your parents and family at large is just preparing you to become someone's wife. Already, without a choice.
But the disadvantage to that is, the boy child isn't done the same with.
He's not being prepared to become a husband.
Yeah. So now you have two individuals. So now you are grown up. Mimi nimefuzwa niko bibi.
Umepigwa msasa. Mimi sijafunzwa kuwa bwana.
Yeah. So what happens? Hapo ndo penye disparity inakuja.
Okay.
Yeah. So this gender roles really doesn't grow someone.
What do you think makes parents within this family setup makes parents think that boys should be left to play out there, just spend time out there doing nothing, shopping centers vijana wamejaa, when girls are pushed, fanya hii kazi nyumbani, leta maji, fua, take care of the sick, look after the home, all those assignments in msichana. What makes parents do that?
I feel like ni patriarchy. Patriarchy is whereby, for me, things are skewed in favor of the man. So the man always gets away with things. Generals kama kufua, kupika. This is a life skill that everyone should do. You should be able to know how to cook your own food.
I do.
So if you have kids in the home, both of them should know how to make their own meals. So in cases where you as parents are not there, your son should be able to make a meal for himself. And so should your daughter. Your son should be able to have a clean home, because humans need to live in clean spaces. Humans need to feed. So it isn't the role of a woman to take care of a man. I think everyone should know how to take care of themselves, so that when you come together, we have two full adults who are able to take care of each other and take care of themselves. And now you are having a boy that is not able to take care of themselves. Asa uni msichana mwingine sana kuja na mchunga kama mtoto wake.
So unapata msichana mwenye amepikwa ameiva, kijana ni bogus.
Hapo tu. Yeah. So
how do you feel when you see this happening as a woman? What comes into your mind and heart?
What comes into my mind? The funny thing is, patriarchy isn't caused by men. It is actually also caused by women. It is taught to the kids, the child, your son and your daughter. Patriarchy is taught to them, again, by the women.
So,
kwa sababu mtu akizaliwa, nani anakuza mtoto kwa nyumba? Si ni mama. So because amelelewa, yeye alifunzwa na mama yake, mama yake alifunzwa. So ana pass the same values to the kids. So it is the same thing that is taught to the kids from the man. So the patriarchy is actually taught it is taught by the women again. And then, but unajua inakuwa strengthened wapi? In church. So unajua hizo Bible verses zenu pia sema
hapa mahali pa Bible verses zenu hapo ndio naona.
It is actually taught in church and also in some cultures zingine bado ziko na retrogressive zinafaa zichangiwe. Culture is a way of life. And because culture is a way of life, in a home you start your own culture, something that grows you as a family. If something doesn't feel right for you, you can actually change the culture of the home. Lafu mna change a new cycle. Mna create now a new cycle. Yes. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you have. So you say church also plays a key role in entrenching easy gender inequality na kuwekea women mzigo. Sasa church utadu?
Utafanya ni by the way. Church, I have this dissenting voice when it comes to religion. I think, and because I noticed religion isn't really, let's say Christianity and Muslim isn't really African. Kiangalia. These are values that were brought to us by other people. So sisi tunalive with the values of other people. Yeah. And as much as and I'm not asking people to stop going to church or stop listening to religion. I think people should start questioning things, because as we were created in this world, in this plane, to experience ourselves in this plane. So we should experience ourselves in this plane fully, wholesomely, as we are. So for instance, mtu akizaliwa, that things that they do naturally. Mtu akipoa breast yatanyonya. That is nature. Ata breathe mwenye, that is nature. Ukipeleka mtoto kwa kanisa, mtoto azaliwe Mkristo, ni parents una decide will take this child to a church. And then alafu start things zinaanza kuambiwa into the child. You can do this, you cannot do this. You can do this, you cannot do this. But the things that are natural hazina resistance. But when you find that there is so much resistance into some values and into how someone should be, then that it means that thing isn't natural. So I would say people should go back to what is natural for them. What is natural for you is there is no resistance at all. Yeah. People should go back to what is natural. What is natural for you, Taparatu, it is easy. Just observe your kids. If you observe watoto wadogo, you'll just see what is natural for them. The way they express themselves. Kama amekasirika utaona amekasirika, kama amefurahi utaona amefurahi. And when you learn from kids, you'll realize kids are just being themselves. And I think as human beings we should be like that. But because of the conditioning we've been done to growing up, we're not really able to express ourselves, to say,
so in most
to
times we just pretending.
It is most of the times tuna pretend. Yeah. And then as we grow up now, because of the pretense and the conditioning, and then also with the traumas that are inflicted to us, we have the religious traumas, we have the poverty traumas, maybe traumas from our parents. We are just grown-ups who are now reacting to the traumas, and now we are just now projecting to each and everyone. We are not really healed. Yeah.
Get you. I get you.
So you can't really be a fool. You cannot really be fully yourself. How can you not know? How can you know what you want if you do not know who you are in the first place? Yeah.
I get you. To our viewers, this is Teketeke Nation Live, and we are trying to understand that despite the fact that there are so many barriers in society, culture, the
Religion.
different social norms, religion, many factors that act as barriers to the aspirations and dreams of girls and women, ziko mingi sana. And to be honest, amesema ya kwamba at times it is true hii playing field haiko fair, haiko equal, but women at the same time, our mothers, wao wenye wame grow up with a lot of challenges, a lot of barriers, then wao tena wana get kwa level ya ku make decisions kwa watoto wao, again wanarudisha nyuma, wanazidi kuinstill zile values ambazo zinazidi kufinyilia na kukandamiza these girls and women even more. But please, this program is being sponsored by Teketeke Courier Solutions. This is the only courier service provider in Nairobi. Kuna zingine ni others, but I want to tell you about Teketeke Courier Solutions. If you have a parcel along Mombasa Road, Thika Road, Waiyaki Way, in CBD, anywhere in Nairobi, just call Teketeke Courier Solutions. The phone number inapita pale chini. Talk to them. They'll be able to pick your parcel from point A to point B at an affordable rate, so that you can focus on your core business. How exciting can this be? Wewe unapiga job yako, surrender the pressure of delivering a parcel to Teketeke Courier Solutions. They do it at an affordable rate. Wewe utulie upige kazi. Marion, I would like to understand, what do women really mean when they say they want to be free? What does this mean?
Let me speak for myself as a woman.
Yes.
When I say,
yes, now let me rephrase the question.
Yeah.
What do you mean when you say you want to be free?
When I say I want to be free, I want to have the financial muscle to access opportunities, because I'm capable of working.
Yes.
I have the skills. So
You don't want any favors.
I don't want favors. But favors zikuja siwezi kataa. No. But sitaki ati nikose favors because I'm a woman. I want to get opportunities because unaweza, unaona. Number 2, I want to be able to express myself, to be free, to be who I am. I want to love whoever I want to love. I want to walk to town the way I want to walk to town. I want to travel to places. I want to just be able to express myself. Nikienda ku express myself artistically, to express myself on social media, and at work. I'm not judged that unafanya hivyo na wewe ni mwanamke, you're not supposed to be like that. Whenever I'm laughing, I shouldn't be told that, the way you're laughing.
Unachaka kama manga. Hey, manga, wewe chaka vizuri. Maanti wengine wanafanga home.
Yeah, I just want to be me, to be free, to enjoy life, to access resources, to feel safe also in this country. Find that safety isn't really something key. Isn't really. A lot of women do not feel safe in this country. Hata wewe kama baba saizi, mtoka akifika certain age, utaanza kumwambia kuje kwa nyumba pesa ngapi? Saa moja, because hata utafeel hayuko safe.
So hapa nje nikubali.
Your sisters feel safe. Let me speak for myself. Nikitembea kwa njia saizi in town or elsewhere, and there are so many men behind me. Nitaanza kuogopa.
Unatoka street
na change route, unaona. So there is that innate fear of men that a lot of women experience in the society. So a lot of women want to feel safe.
What's the
at
problem
home.
with men that you would feel not safe ukiwaona tu kwa barabara?
Because of what you've seen in the society, because of the stories you see. Kumekuwa a lot of femicide. A lot of femicide, people just killing women left, right and center. We've seen a lot of gender-based violence because biologically men are stronger than women. So men tend to get away with whatever actions they do. Unaona? And ukiona mtu amereport a rape case, what happens? The women are usually ukiangalia kwa what happens? The victim ndio anakuwa victimized. Mtu amekufa but watu wanaongea vibaya kuhusu the victim. You know, mtu akisema I have been raped anaambiwa nini? What were you wearing? It is as if ukivaa nguo you stop rape. But we have kids who get raped, very young kids. We have very old women who get raped. So it isn't even a rapist is just a rapist. It isn't even about how someone wears or how someone looks like.
But even I look at it like this: whether you wearing anything or otherwise, getting to a level of raping you, it's nothing to do with the clothing. And
it's nothing to do actually. Also, it is just violence meted against women. So women want to be safe in this country. So if I'm a woman, I want to go to the political space. It's very violent for women in some spaces because you don't know who will attack you today.
Kubaya.
Yeah, who will want to use your nude photos. You trust maybe your mpenzi leo mnapiga mapicha. 2 weeks later anataka kufanya nini? Achukue hizo picha kwa social media because anadhani kika picha yako you feel shame. You see those things.
Usipige picha na mtu hivyo.
Exactly. But ukipiga picha mwanaume ameka picha half social media. Na wao mtu eke yako utapata who gets a lot of hit. It is the woman.
Yeah, because okay, men don't have private parts.
Who said so? Who said so?
No, it's a discussion I've had men say. So men, how society the high school I went to, we used to shower nje tuka uwanja. And I remember 200 men mnaoga tuka uwanja ndethe. Also comfortable ni kama whatever people are seeing ni kichwa and nothing.
Hata si primo tuko tunaoga hivyo.
Primo.
Yeah.
This is in high school.
In boarding school.
Now, getting out here I realize I see men who work so hard to get some six pack and then hawavai nguo.
To showcase.
Yes, if a woman tries that,
no.
It's a different story.
Yeah.
But you see when a man does that was ako fiti. So I realize with this that men no longer have private parts.
But also it is the mindset. Kuna hiyo mindset ya mwanamke akifanya hivi then it is wrong.
You ni malaya.
But when you go way back, utapata in some cultures wanawake walikuwa wanatembea with their breasts.
Yeah.
And there's nothing sexual ukiangalia hivyo. So if you normalize like mwanamke akikuwa hivi, just leave her alone.
It's her choice.
Yeah. Mwanamke akitenda kwa sita and then you whistle and they don't answer. You don't have to attack her or tell her that she's ugly. Unaona. Let just people be safe.
So just to pick this. So there are men out here akikuwisolia kwa barabara and you don't respond.
Mbona unaringa na uko na sura mbaya?
What is the problem with men? But why?
I think it's internalized misogyny. It is internalized misogyny. Hiyo chuki kwa wanawake. Hiyo kitu mtu amefunzwa mwanamke hizi. Shona mtu anasema mwanamke hizi niambia. Yeah, you know there's that internalized misogyny and then patriarchy also plays a big role. Yeah, and ukiangalia patriarchy isn't really African. Yeah. It came with the colony. So all these things ukiangalia in with the real African values, men really used to value women. Women really felt protected, cared for, and women were taken care of in the old times. When you go way back before in the pre-colonial eras, women used to be taken care of. So kitu ya hizi chuki wanawake wasn't really African. Yeah.
Let me talk to my fellow men and boys out here that it is normal kuisolia msichana pale nje na asiangalie nyuma. It's because unaweza wewe kuwa na interest but yeye hana that hajaona kitu. Wewe uko hapo ameona kitu imevaa shati na longi lakini si kitu. See you see even women they have a criteria of selecting the kind of man they want. So sometimes unatembea men are seated somewhere lakini ukipiga macho you can tell hapa yangu hakuna. So if any of them are a whistle, you have a right to move on because hakuna hapa. And because you are someone you fear the response, utapata unaanza kujiforce kusmailia watu ndio wasiseme wasiongee vibaya in the streets. Unaona? Because you don't. But why would men insult you atukai poa na alikuwa anakuita? It happens. You are a man. Tell us why. I tell you why now.
Yeah.
How do I tell you why? Wanaume pale nje. Why would you? It is you who spotted a lady along the street. You are on Tomboya. Mtoto wa mtu ametoka nyumbani amepiga luku yake and then ukamuita. Then hakusimama. Why are you insulting her? Why can't you try the next one? Because of course hawajaisha. So mwingine ako pia ametoka Githurai anakuja tao. Why would you insult her? Hakai poa, sura yake sio nzuri. Ulikuwa unataka nini in the first point? Wanaume wenzangu, so wacha tungoje wale wajibu. Si ndio?
Yeah.
What support would women want to receive from men and boys and society in general to feel that they're getting their own freedom, they're able to make their own choices, and they're able to attain their dreams?
The first support I would feel like provide safety.
Safety.
Imagine a society where everyone feels safe. When a woman feels safe in her own society, I think the entire society will feel safe. I believe women are very important in the society.
Sure.
And they're very powerful. If you want to see if a nation is sick, look at its women. If you want to see that a society that is mentally ill, look at its women. If you want to gauge if a society is happy or not, look at its women. Sababu ukienda kwa nyumba ya mtu, mwanamke wa nyumba kama ako na hasira, hiyo nyumba yote haikaliki. Si ni kweli? But kama amefurahi, kila mtu amefurahi. So we need for the women to feel safe in the society they live in. We need for them to have access to resources. Government ikipeana resources ipatie wanawake. In this country right now utapata poverty affects women the most compared to men. Mwanamke akilose their husband today, she is at a higher risk of losing her husband's inheritance. Unaona? She is at a higher risk of going back to poverty.
Sure.
Leo mtu anaishi nyumba poa, but mzee akikufa what happens?
Everything changes.
They can lose everything. So we need to protect women with the laws we put up as a country. Security can be beefed up. And then I feel like men and women need to come together. Hizi vita wanaume wanapigana na wanawake, wanawake wanapigana na wanaume. At the end of the day, it is hurting us as a society.
Sure.
We all just need to come together. Men need to realize that their role in our society is to protect. And the best way to protect a women is by loving them and accepting them as they are. Yeah, we should value them. When you value a woman, mwanamke ni mtu. Women are creators. And because they bring life, they have the creators' power in them. They bring life. So ukichoko and that is where also men come from. So they are responsible for generations to come. So imagine a society where the men protect women that are responsible for generations to come. We'd have beautiful generations coming. We'd have healed generations because we have that safety net, and we also have the love that is actually helping us. Kuishi pamoja. Yeah. I feel like we need the security, we need the safety, we need resources, we need to protect the vulnerable also in the society. We also need to look at our policies. Mbona pads in 80 bob and 100 bob?
Okay, on the issue of pads, if you go to public hospitals, you find wanapeana condoms free.
For free, yeah.
Why can't they turn around?
Yeah.
Someone who's going to use a condom, he's going to for pleasure.
Yeah.
Someone who's using pads, this
you have to use them, yeah.
There is no any other way. Why can't government decide waweke pads zikwe free at hospitals?
Exactly.
Condoms people should buy.
Or the price is reduced because 80 bob. We still have people in this country. A lot of majority people live below the poverty line.
Sure.
So most of them cannot access this.
80 bob is a huge amount of money.
So period poverty is really rampant. And because of that period poverty, that is actually how a lot of women also get taken advantage of to a high school. Because mtu hana 70 bob ya kununua.
Yeah, so some guy
mtu anaweza mpatia, they take advantage of them.
And I've had cases of guys who have because they're going to buy some young girl the pads at 80 shillings, so they demanded for unprotected sex.
Exactly. Alafu unaribu maisha ya mtu ya.
Yeah, sure.
So I feel like to tackle poverty. And I'm attempting to say sometimes if we had to do away with religion kidogo, we'd really save a lot of lives. Yeah. Because we'd have people, mtu ako in a very, very bad marriage. Akaenda church anaambiwa wewe omba vumilia. And then what happens the next time?
But, for me, I'm religious, let me be honest. But I like people who go to church, read the word of God, do whatever they do, but use their brains.
Yeah.
In the process.
But how many use their brains when it comes to religion? Religion, I feel like inatumia mass. You know what happens when you deal with crowds? You can easily control crowds. One person can easily control crowds. And watu wakikuwa in a crowd, they do not think for themselves. Wanasemanga bishop amesema. So people don't think that what do we want to.
Mtumishi wa Mungu amesema.
Pandeni mbegu. Utapanda.
Nimeona wengine wamesema upande mbegu ya 10,000 gari unapata. So it's important. I agree with you that it's important. I recognize there is God.
Yeah.
But I would really want, of course, God has made us, created us with brains. And the purpose of us having brains is to use them to think.
Yeah.
Brains haitawahi kukua earring, haitawahi kukua anything. There is nobody who's beautiful because of the brains.
Yeah.
So let us appreciate what religion does, but at the same time use our heads just to make proper decisions.
Or we can have laws. We take what works for us, and that doesn't work for us in this era. We should leave it. Kitambo folks walikuwa natumia nini smoke signals. Sasa tunatumia nini simu kupigana simu. So tuli update na time. So we cannot still use the same laws that were used 1,000 years ago.
Sure, it can't.
Times have changed. People have changed.
Sasa jaribu kutumia smoke signal uone kama
natakuja
wazima moto watakuja kuzima hiyo moto.
Unaona? So we need to we need to embrace change.
Sure.
We need to know that we are evolving. So values and cultures that work for us, we can embrace that. Those that no longer work for us, we do away with that.
Yeah, because there are a lot of cultural beliefs, a lot of perceptions, attitudes that are very negative.
Yeah.
They affect girls and women in very, very weird ways. But then people are still strongly holding on to them.
And the funny thing with culture is, unajua you grew up in a certain place. Let's say if you grew up in poverty, in a village, wewe umezea kuna nyumba nyasi na barabara hiyo yenye sitamaka. That is actually what your mind will always see. Until the day you'll be shown that, by the way, kuna places zingine nyumba zika hivi.
Yes.
Nyumba kuna mansions somewhere. So sasa ukianza kuona hizo zingine you'll start
dreaming guy.
That is actually how culture is. You only believe it because that is what you've seen.
So imekufungia mahali. You operate in a very small world, which is not necessarily the best, but you are.
That is all you know. But unapata in some Arab countries, kitambo, women wouldn't drive. But sasa wameanza ku drive. Hawa wako na drive, but Kenya si wanawake walikuwa na drive.
Kwanza mademo. Mimi kuna mademo na kupita kwa thika road hapa pako unasema shit.
So, ukisema it is bad for a woman to drive huko na huko tuna drive. Is it really bad for a woman to drive? Ama it is something that is used to put the woman down. Unaona? So, I feel like we need to, as much as there is culture, we need to go beyond. Does this really work for us? We realize that there's so much we don't know. There's so much we are yet to learn. And as much as we're in this cocoon that this is what we believe in, when you go up there you realize that there's so many other things that people are doing outside there. There's so much more yet for you to explore and to get to learn about yourself. And when you get to explore and learn those things, unakuja realize there's so much change you can make and make yourself a better person, or even the society better. Yeah, I
get you. So there's this issue about just from in a backyard, many young women who have been forced to particular marriages. There are issues sometimes where parents have enough money and they make a choice for you. Umesema you have your elder bro who's just a year older than you, and they say wacha ndugu yako your brother ende shule, wewe baki. What would you tell such like parents?
Imagine you're not being fair to your girl. If your child likes to go to school, let them go to school. Let them explore. Ukeka mtu kwa nyumba, you are really limiting them from being who they could be. And utapata hata pengine ukijana, maybe yeye strength yake iko shule. Unaona? So and right now actually I've seen it even in my family. I come from a family of 4 ladies and 1 gentleman. And I'm thinking if
one gentleman.
Yeah, my bro only. And I'm thinking if my parents decided that we are not going to school because we are girls and he's going to school, he's going to suffer. Because right now, as much as we are women, we really help them. Says wakitaka anything, just call your daughters. We are independent right now. We are able to take care of ourselves. We are able to take care of our society. We are able even to employ some people sometimes. We are able to give sober advice to them. And sometimes even boy children are not really dependable like that. Ukiangalia kwa homes mingi.
Tunasomeshwa alafu tukishaoa
mtu amego missing. But mimi hakuna siku utasikia tip mamangu ni sick na mimi nimekuja na jibamba Nairobi. I'll have to go there, see what is going on. If they need something, I'll always go there. I'm not organize with my sisters. Let's do something for our parents this time. Are they okay? You know, so when you put your daughter down, there's so much you're limiting them, and also you're limiting yourself. Your child could easily help you get out of poverty, and could really even improve your life and even the lifestyle of their home. There was a time also utapata wasichana wako wanapatiwa vitu. Me, I was lucky because I feel like my father, because I grew up with daughters, as much as alikuwa na tukazi unajua mko wadogo ati because you're a woman, you're supposed to do this. And then he's learning as we grow up, and he learned that we are embracing ourselves. He started really being open to us being whatever we want. He even gave us land.
Oh.
Yeah. And this is something that is very rare.
Sorry, uko na shake?
Niko na shamba yangu.
We need to talk. We need to talk.
These are the things that men need to be told about.
Yeah.
Imagine it's okay for your daughters to have land.
Yeah, but
me having land does not scare men away. It is my land. It is mine. And because I'm able to take care of myself.
Yeah, sure.
Take care of them also.
Because you see at times our daughters get married, the husbands take advantage of them, they mishandle them, cases of SGBV arise, and then mtoto hana mali na
place ya kwenda.
But do you think that there are men who fear women who have property like you now? Anajua uko na shamba, umeenda shule, you are so empowered.
Yeah.
Men feel like you are coming in to compete with them.
I know there are, but someone who fears me is someone who's not meant for me.
Akwende huko.
Yeah. I call them, they have low energy. You always get people vibrate in the same wavelength as you. A man worth his salt. Mtu anajiamini haezi kuogopa. And I feel like if utapata people, the men who like put down women who look like they're succeeding are mostly poor men. So watu pia waepuke umaskini, because the only thing that brings anger putting down on women is poverty. So
jamaa hana kakitu.
Yeah, and sana hizo machungu zinataka.
Sasa naangalia dem hata huyo malaya huyo ndio hizi gani hata wapi?
But if you all worked and if you all just canard poverty, we'd all be happy people. Because unapatanga poverty comes with a lot of anger. Ushai drive kwa streets, ukutana na watu wa boda, what happens? Alafu yeye ndio amekuscratch, utapata they all want to come and even you. This is something that poverty does to people that makes them just always angry and sad people. So someone that wants to kukufinyilia because you look like you are doing well something. Or you have something isn't someone for you. That is someone that will stifle your growth. We need people that let and when you own and when you have like a wife and a husband, I believe that you're not supposed to give them that because you are mine, you cannot do this. No. I feel like as much as you have a husband or a wife, you are still your own person.
You need to allow your spouse to grow,
be who they are, and to grow and to explore themselves. And when people explore themselves and they grow, utapata nyote mnafurahia. Because if let's say if I am able to go to places, I'm able to be myself, I think my man would also bask in my glories. Because I'm able to do this and I have this skill set and I have these talents. At yende tokonto kwanza na again, he'll be able to bask in my glories the same way I bask in his glories. So mtu utapata mtu anataka kukuekelea kufinyilia because you have isn't someone for you. And women should really run away from such kinds of men. Hiyo ni toxicity.
There's this issue about your father, and I think your father should be a key role model in the society in this sense, especially issues on property, family property inheritance. So most fathers wouldn't hata napenda watoto wake sana, but kashamba kake katano nika Edwin na Peter, hafikiriangi Florence ndani. What did your neighbors, your uncles, the other people just watching your family from a distance, what did they say when they heard that your father had given you a piece of land at home?
I don't know. I don't know. Kwenye tunaishi isn't like ancestral home, a place to
buy.
Yana pia shamba tunapatiwa si like ancestral. Shamba ni yeye alibai akamwa mtachukua hii and then use this to invest. But I feel like if he's with his friends and he's doing the same, I think also in a way
ana challenge wale.
He's also with friends who vibrate in the same wavelength as he does. They want, and also because he's also been a key person in society. He's a retired teacher. He was a principal kitambo. So alikuwa mwalimu ya both female and men. He's experienced both kids and both worlds. And also pia amekuwa enlightened and he knows, and also pia from experience he's seen, he has brothers and he has a sister. My mom has brothers only and she's the only girl. So unaona tu nilikuwa na mtu msichana huyu atanisaidia sana. And when you have kids unapata unapenda the same. With kids you'll see this one is more responsible, this one can do this more, this one can do. You know, when you have kids unajuanga huyu, unajua hii huyu anapenda math sana. Huyu nikimwambia aweke will anaweka will. Huyu nikimwambia fanye kitu anaweza fanya. This one can do very well in business. So you know you are able to rope in wote venye wako. Yeah, and I feel like my dad also ni mtu mwenye alikuwa anataka we are able to be ourselves and to also feel safe in the society. And the only way right now for a woman to feel safe ni kama uko na chako. Because if you're a woman and hauna chako, you cannot be free when you're poor.
Ningori.
There's no way you cannot pull ropes when you're poor.
Poverty and freedom, they can't come in one sentence.
So you cannot pull ropes when you're poor. And when you're poor and a woman, you're very vulnerable. You can easily attract men that are very toxic to you. You can be in situations zenye Ningori. So unapata even your dignity as a human inaenda down. Yeah. So mwanamke ana factor kwanza aeze kujisimamia na pia wewe na msingi, like you need to have people around you who you know support you and love you, that if something, because life throws us curveballs, that should something happen I have people to catch me. Yeah.
We just like to understand the perspective of your mother when she saw your father giving you some space, some small piece of land. How did your mother react?
She was very excited. She was very, very, very happy. My mom.
But this is a story we need to tell to the world.
Yeah, she was very happy and she supports us. Hata tulipatwa I think shamba mara mbili. Your personal kila msichana yake, and then the general law for all the kids to like you invest, you can build a house here for rental, but this is not like family property. Yeah. And you unapata they are very supportive.
I want to become your father when I grow up.
Interviews kumoja.
I want to become your father when I grow up.
Yeah.
Because most of the fathers I know, especially in Western Kenya and areas where culture is very strong, mtu akona shamba eka kama 100, ako na kijana mmoja, watoto wake wasichana wanasumbuka huko nje, mabwana wanawapiga wanawafukuza, but they can't go anywhere because hana kitu. Your father is a serious role model.
Yeah, we were talking about my mom. She was very happy. My mom is also very supportive of us. Yeah, mama ni mama.
Sure.
And when you have a good relationship, we've grown up and we've really had conversations about our childhood. Kama kulikuwa na issues, tulikuwa tuna feel walikuwa na issues. We actually, as grown up, tunaambia by the way you used to treat us when you were kids, it was not.
Mumerudi ku review.
Yeah, to review by the way. You know, sometimes you have to review things to change the cycle. Check the cycle in the home. Even with the way they parented, when you talk about things, there are some past wounds that are still there. When you talk about it and both parties are willing to talk about, we don't talk necessarily to blame. We talk about it so that mtu recognize alifanya hivi,
and just learn from
it. And then now you move forward. Yeah. So when you talk about it, unapata your relationships even as a family inakuwa better, mnakuwa pamoja sana, and then now you get the assurance that should anything happen I always have a home to go.
Sure.
So mimi sijishtuka Nairobi kiumana, sina place ya kwenda.
Uko na shake.
Hata si shake.
Wewe mzito.
Wewe unaweza rudi kwa mama.
Utarudi kwa mama. Na hata ukirudi kwa mama uko na shake. Wewe ni bazenga. Ni bazenga. You see, limitedly owning property like land is not a joke.
Okay.
Owning land is not a joke because you see what makes. I always tend to think that kuna many women who have not been in a position to really become themselves because akiangalia in the bank they want security. Hana yo shamba, hana title. She wanted to do something big, some big project. All those opportunities zinakosekana kwa sababu huyu dem, yes, she's ambitious, she has a clear vision, but how to effect her dream inakuwa big problem.
Yeah, true.
But so if parents can get to a level ya ku-enable their daughters wakue kwa position kama yenye uko ndani sasa, you can make some choices.
Yeah, you can. And then you'll find that parents pia, they play a very key role also in also in the way you live your life and also on how you choose to invest. Because I feel like when I began working, I wasn't really keen on investing. Mimi nilikuwa nataka nikule raha, nikipata mshahara niende kwa club.
Upige show.
But then my dad is there like, sasa unaanza kupata mshahara na come, what are you doing about it? So you invest in this circle, do this. So you find that most of the values you grew up with, we're taught by our parents. But now when you have parents who, let's say, they do not have the information. Or they grew up in abject poverty. So you kind of grow up lacking. But then, past a certain age, you cannot be blaming your parents for what they did not do for you.
Yeah, because there's a lot of information at the moment.
Age, I'm not 25, but after a certain age, kusema parent, I'm like this because of my parents is just an excuse.
Age gani yo? Age gani yo?
After, I feel like after 18, and you're still blaming your parents, as long as the most important things in life right now is life itself and health. As long as you're alive and you're healthy and you have a sober mind, things, you can always make things work for you. If you feel like my childhood wasn't okay, you can make a conscious choice that I want to have a good I can now reparent myself and have the childhood that I wished I had. You see, so if you're a grown-up right now and you're able to make those choices, you can always get to what you've always wanted to be.
What you can ukilia hapa kila, oh mimi sikufanyiwa, you can change your story.
Kufanyiwa sijifanyie sasa. And you don't, and there's always not one way. And as long as you set the intention that I want to do something, I want to be something, the universe always conspires and brings people. When the student is ready, the teacher will always appear.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I agree with you.
So, ukitaka something, hata kama hakuna njia, the fact that you've thought that I want to go to some place, someone somewhere has already gone somewhere.
Sure.
Someone somewhere has already done something that you've always wanted to do. So there's always guidance that you can get. There's always signs that you'll get that this path that I want to take, I can actually go through that.
Asante.
Yeah.
Guys, this is Teketeke Nation Live, and of course the program on air is Silence Truth. And one serious thing that I've picked here is that an old man in Western Kenya, an old man. This is big because there are many fathers out here who have got huge chunks of land, but then there is this cultural thing in our minds ya kwamba our daughters hawawezi kuown shamba. And we have got many young women and girls suffering out here because they got married kwa some form of gaidi, anatesa mtoto, anamsumbua, anamtupa nje, cases of SGBV zimejaa because these women can't have access to property. But her father's story, this is serious. I may decide mwenyewe as a man that I have my children, I will pick my piece of land, they may know with my own money, nitagaia watoto because both boys and girls are equal. Who said, there is one thing, before I talk to my fellow men, that educating girls is valueless because wanaenda kusaidia mali wameolewa, or giving them property wataenda kukula na bwana zao, you know.
But really is it like that though?
You tell me.
Mimi nimesoma, nimeenda paka university. But the money I get, I'll always take it back home. I'll always ensure that my parents have something to eat. Even you, I think your wife here will never just be comfortable knowing that at home watu wako poa. You'll always want to grow with your people. Sure. Because your heart will always be with your people. As much as I'm married to someone, my heart will always be with my family and also with my people. You don't leave your people like that unless kulikuwa na issue. Kuna ngori fulani. Yeah, kuna ngori. Yeah, so kuna hiyo perception. So unapataga most. It doesn't hold water. Yeah, it doesn't. So kuna hiyo allegation that girls utawasomesha waende waolewe, all the resources the parents aliweka in kwa mtoto ziende kule, but at the same time we don't necessarily take our children to school because we want them to help us. Yeah. Yes, we just want, it is their right and we want to empower them enough. Wakifika their own age, they'll be able to take care of themselves, take care of their families, and if they're willing, they can still help us. Yeah. Actually, you don't take your kids to school ndio kusaidia in future. Your children are not an investment plan. Yes. Kwanza wewe umesezi wako 30 years. You've had 30 years of experience in this world. Mtu hajazaliwa bado. Unangoja mtu akuja afike 30 ndio akusaidia. Are you being serious? Utafanya wazazi wakazirika. No, seriously. Are you being serious with your life?
Utafanya mama yangu anaochi hata kusema wewe.
And then kids die also.
Yeah. The cases where kids die even before the parents.
Exactly. So what happens to that investment? But you at your 30, you're at your prime age. Uko na the skills, uko na afya, uko na uhai. You can build networks to build yourself. sasa wako na resources sana kushinda mtu mdogo mwenye hajazaliwa bado. So wewe resources zako ni zako za kujisaidia, ujipange kusaidie even up to old age. Mtoto wako wewe ndio uliamua, mtu akwambia umzae, wewe ndio uliamua mwenyewe umzae. Because uliamua umzae, it is your responsibility to take care of them.
Sure.
They don't have to tell you thank you because wewe ndio uliamua unataka mtoto. Out of your own last whatever, because that is what you wanted. So it is your responsibility to take care of them up to that time that they are able to take care of themselves. But then mtoto mchunga tipaka afike 18. A child is like a responsibility for a lifetime, for 100 years. They'll always be responsible for them. I am 30 years old right now. My mom has called me in the morning kuniuliza naendeleaje. Are you sure you're okay?
She wants to.
My parents will always ask me, are you sure you're okay? Okay, feel like niko down, my dad will even sometimes send me money. Because as a child, you'll always be your parents' child.
Na uniambiangi nani wewe unapata kitu na usemi wewe. Hapo unasema ukipata unasema
nani kidogo kama uko broke unaona. So as a parent, you'll always be a parent forever. Sure. Your kids should never be an investment. Na kifika na soma and things don't work. Unapata watu wamemaliza shule na kazi.
Yeah, especially now in the world of unemployment, things are thick.
Pata tu mtu amesoma but they have nothing. But imagine if you as a parent, because you had the financial muscle then ukajipanga and you built generational wealth. Mtu wako kamaliza shule, they don't have to go start looking for work.
Wanapata mali tu wanaingia kwa system.
Kwanza unapata because you have the muscles, you start training them early. When you go to the office, unampeleka siku moja kwa ofisi. Like what you are doing right now, your daughter is seeing, your son is seeing. Utapata pia na develop interest. And that is the difference I think between Kenya or third world countries and first world countries. But the rich train their kids kiwadogo when they go to the office or when they go to act or when wanaenda they go with their kids.
The kids learn from there for the point. But you see for us, mtoto anajuanga tu baba ako job yeye nini anafanya.
Unaona?
Mama anakuja na pesa ya chama but hata juu chama nini.
And then hata pesa utapata at home. Utapata from affluent homes, utapata mtoto anaambiwa this is a piggy bank. When you do something you can save your money in the piggy bank. Mtoto anazoea kusave pesa.
The culture of saving inatoka mtu wake mdogo.
Unapata at home, unapata mtoto mzazi anafunza mtoto how to like to have value for their time and energy. Mtoto akifanya an extra work that are not supposed to be, let's say ameenda amekupanguzia viatu and you pay them. Yo mtoto with that chat mtu akikuwa mkubwa, will someone take advantage of them? That apana services for free kweli hapa. They know the value of their work. Because mwambie ukifua hii nguo you get something. With this something you are able to do this. Ukimaliza pesa yako and you borrow from me, you'll work more so that you can return.
Yes.
So mtu ana learn financial value. Most of us did not learn. We only learned about saving. So unajuanga tu nikipata mshahara ni save 5%. But again when I save with no plan, shida ikitokea msinatuanga yote. Hata na save ikifika December umetoa yote
unapiga sherehe.
But no one ever tells us that when you have this, when you live in this lifestyle, let's say you use 33k a month as your money, you are supposed to double that 6 and have it in savings because something can happen in future.
Sure.
And you should be able to live the same lifestyle. No one ever tells us that. Hiyo ni kitu nakuja unajipata in adulting. These are the things that ought to be taught in school. Money should be taught. Even at home, children should know these things.
Sure.
Unaona.
Just to check from you, if you were to get kids, how different would you raise them?
I would raise them different in that first, I would let kids be kids. Sita harass mtoto wangu akwe adult.
Umweke pressure.
Yeah.
Wacha mtu akimtoi.
That is the pressure I had when I was a kid also. Because I was a firstborn girl.
And you're like an assistant parent.
Yeah, anaitwanga deputy parent. Unajipata balami kwa mtoto, unajipata nachunga watoto. So you find yourself that you get tired mapema in life. You don't even want to be around kids because umechunga watu your siblings. So you let kids be kids. Let your daughters let them express themselves the way they are. Watu wavulana, don't tell them at watu wavulana wafai kulia. Men need to express themselves. Those are emotions. The emotions need to come out. Ukikuwa in a family whereby unaambiwa you're not supposed to cry because you're a man. Those emotions zinakuwa stuck. What happens? Those emotions will come out one day. It will come out in the worst way possible. So when you let kids express themselves the way they are, listen to them, because kids actually I feel like we can actually see the world through their eyes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What else I would what else would I do to kids? I would teach them about maybe financial values. I would explore the world with them, maybe travel with them. This is something that our parents did not do with us. But I find that kids who like travel with their parents, unapatanga the way they see the world is very
different.
Yeah.
Sure.
So those are the things I would do different. And I also chose I would want all my kids to learn life skills.
Everything.
My boys and my girls wajue, because you have to cook, you have to clean. I'll tell my daughter, unafaa iname hivi ndio clean vizuri. Si ati ufai kuinama, si ati inama because wewe unafaa utakuwa bibi ya nani? Unajua hivyo uko na parents kitambo. Ati wewe unapanguza, utafukuzwa kwa boma yako.
Unafukuzwa na mtu mwenye kumop.
Mtoko 5 ama 10 unamwambia wewe utaishindia kwa boma yako na unavunyo unakufagia hivyo.
Nani mkaambia ndakwenda boma?
Unaona, instead of just telling them you need to bend lower so that you are able to clean it well. So ukiambia mtu utafukuzwa kwa boma yako, you are already conditioning that girl.
That's the only way successful becoming lazima akue kwa
you are already grooming them and conditioning them. Unaona? So there is also the way we talk to our kids that actually can affect the way they relate with the other gender. Unaona? Wachana na wanaume kuongea watu wazuri. Already affecting, we are already conditioning them. And then also the way we listen to their kids. Unapatanga mtu something, unapata I have friends wanakwambia they had been molested by their uncles, by the friends of their families, and they never talked about it because no one would. And as if their own parents,
nobody's listening to them,
and they wouldn't believe them. So kids, and at home, this is the only safe space for your children. They don't know any other space.
This is their home.
This is their home. It should be very safe for them. They should be able to tell you that this is what happened, this is what did not happen. They should be able to tell you when something is wrong with them.
So some parents are too harsh and not available.
Yeah, not available. So I provide a very safe space for my kids. Yeah, and hata kama hiyo safe space inamaanisha relatives wasikuja for some time, itabidi for the sake of the kids, because this is the only home they have.
Kila mtu akae kwao.
I'll always be an advocate for my kids. I think so. If I'd have one. Yeah.
You would. Now, looking into this camera, the parents out there, they are decision makers, they are men and boys, they are fellow women. What would you tell them that we need to do as a world, as a society, as a continent of Africa, to ensure that we give women and girls their freedom to be whoever they want to be?
Dear
and travel as you are traveling.
Dear men, to give women the freedom to be who they are, number one, we need to come together. We need to come together as men and women. We need to sit together in one table and discuss issues affecting both men and women. When you do that, I think we can be able to relate well. We need to provide a safe space for women in this country. Women need to feel safe and secure. We need to look into laws and policies in this country. Women should be able to inherit from their parents. Widows should be able to inherit property from their husbands. We need to protect them from malicious relatives and all that. Yeah. And just do away with poverty. Provide, protect, profess love to your women, man. Yeah.
To fellow women?
To fellow women, my advice is, if you're going through a tough time whereby you do not feel that you are free, you need to first think that you can have freedom outside there. What do you want in this life? When you know what you want in this life and you are ready for it, the universe will always give you opportunities to be who you are. Do not be afraid of expressing yourself. Do not be afraid of exploring who you are. You are better if you are authentic in who you are. Do not be afraid to be you. Yeah.
Asante.
Karibu.
Madam, I deeply appreciate you for finding time and coming and pouring your wisdom to our audience.
Thank you. This was fun.
And for me, I would really love one of these fine days to do a show with your father.
Sawa.
So that we tell the world iko possible. Kuna wazee wako na mashamba huko Western. Wamekalia chapati hivi. Wanauza tu wenyewe pole. Shamba inaisha.
Yeah.
Inaisha leo anakufa kesho. Na watoto wake wanabaki nyuma kiteseka.
Yeah.
But if at all we can use your father's case as a story to tell the world that this is possible, I think we would be able to change many people.
Yeah.
Yes, I would really love to.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Marion.
Asante.
Nashukuru sana.
Thank you. Subscribe.
Yes, to our viewers, she has said subscribe. Please, Teketeke Nation Live, subscribe. As we finish, there are many barriers that affect women and young girls, preventing them to attain their dreams. This is not the world we want. We have lived like this, but things are changing. Times are really changing very fast. If we keep on to our cultural beliefs, to the things that were done by our great-grandfathers, some of them were really good. We need to hold on to them. But those that cannot work in the current time and age, let us drop them. Because we don't want to expose our own children, our own daughters, our mothers, our wives, our sisters, to the many challenges that our old shoshos went through. Let us change for a better society. Maboys wenzangu, wanaume pale nje, tukumbuke ya kwamba many times what tunasema ni wanawake fulani pale nje, but remember, your daughter will become mwanamke someday in time. When that happens, you will realize that we need to make an equal society for all of us, so that all of us are able to attain our dreams. All of us can make choices. All of us can be whoever we want to be. Until next Saturday, same time, same place, tuonane. Subscribe.
Thank you.
Teketeke Nation Live. Nashukuru
fun.
sana. So shamba huko nayo Mario na usemi.
Achat.
Title deed tuende tutafute lini?
Title deed. I think alishaanza your process. Yeah, sasa imebaki tulipie. Yeah, tupewe.
This is great.
They did surveys and all that.
This is great. And your bro, how did he